By big round of applause. I have customary role to play for some of you who are not member of NHRDN. What NHRDN is all about. The National HRD Network is the largest professional body committed to promoting the people leadership in the country and enhancing the capability of human resource professional to compete globally and thereby creating value for society. Towards this end, NHRDN has been conducting several initiatives, be part of learning center, like conferences, seminars, symposium, workshop, and even taking global missions. And this initiative that you see today is one initiative in our basket of such programs. NHRDN, with its 30 chapters affiliated to it from all over India, it has 12,500 management professionals as members and 3,000 companies as its members, along with government, MSME, NGO, media. Today this body serves a reference point for Indian industry. NHRDN believes in upgrading and also enhancing the competence of skills, people like you. And it is our endeavor at our platform to bring the best from the point of view of thought leadership and as well as from the point of view of action leadership. And I'm happy to share with you today the NHRDN arm has gone globally. We have reached out to US, we have reached out to Australia, and for the last 3 years we have been conducting our global leadership program in Shanghai, China as well. It is this activity that has made us to discover more and more on our platform. I'm not going to take a thunder what this subject is all about. I would rather leave it to the able leadership of Rachna, who has put this program together. But what I would like to say that thank you all the speakers. We have come all the way from across globe and also from across India. It is your time we greatly value. It is your thought leadership we will really cherish. So thank you indeed for joining us this morning. And may this 2 days of interaction that you will have in this program will give you some insight for shaping your agenda in your own corporations. So thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, and look forward to having you in the next 2.5 days.
Thank you, sir. Now may I request Ms. Rachna Mukherjee, Chief HR Officer, Schneider Electric, to please join us and present the summit overview.
Thank you and a warm welcome. So right now I speak wearing my hat of Summit Director from NHRDN. We all know that the case of gender diversity is well established. There are no two ways about it. It's not just the right thing to do, it's also the smart thing to do today. And it is not only a social issue, but it's a business imperative that we are trying to address. A recent McKinsey study shows that if we consider the full potential of women in any economy, if all women fully participate, it will add 26% to annual GDP by 2025. When it comes to India, the incremental GDP can be 16% over the business in current scenario. However, even if the case as far as intention is concerned is established, are the actions in place to improve the overall gender balance in the country, in the organizations, in workplaces? The uncomfortable answer here is not really. So may I propose that in this summit, we would like to address just this, the gap between intentions and actions with the sole focus of attempts to find a solution. What could organizations do, managers and leaders do, and what could women themselves do to address this gap? Not only the intentions, moving from intentions to actions. In each of these sessions that we've designed, we want to challenge ourselves and we want to raise the bar. Where has the needle moved and what led to it is one of the questions we'll ask ourselves. What can we learn, and from our actions that we've already accomplished, what are some of the good practices? How can we move ahead with great pace and commitment on this issue? So let us get together during these 2 days to address this, not only for our own respective organizations, but also towards the larger cause as a contribution towards society and towards nation building. An equal nation in true sense, and that's what we hope we will move towards addressing. With this in mind, we begin the day with keynote address by Chris Leong, the Group CMO for Schneider Electric Group. We also give away the Prerna Awards institutionalized by Schneider last year, and this is the second year of these awards. I'm sure we'll hear more about it in due time. The dialogues and discussion in the summit have been very carefully crafted into these 5 different sessions. 3 of these sessions we will go through today, and 2 of these sessions we'll go through tomorrow. Our first session is the CEO session, as who could be better than them to discuss the impact of diverse leadership on business and people metrics. In this session, we'll request the panelists to share their experiences of bringing tangible outcomes through creating diverse workforces. They will also talk about leadership perspective on how we can sustain these outcomes. The second session centers around one of the most critical topics of today, women in the boardrooms. So the keynote speakers in this session engage in a dialogue to dwell upon the key issues that prevent gender parity in boardrooms and how should such issues be addressed. We have 2 industry stalwarts sharing their insights in this session. The last session today is about building a sustainable pipeline of women leaders. In corporate America, women at entry level is around 45%. As it goes to the C-suite, it is just 17%. The story is no different in any other part of the world. India is not too good there either. The panelists will discuss how we can actively support the growth of women leaders and what are the progressive workforce practices relating to this aspect. That's the last session of today. On day 2 of the summit, we discuss 4 significant M's of professional women's life: marriage, maternity, mobility, and medical care. These are important life phases which even professional women have to deal with. Panelists will raise some key pointers. Given that we lose talented women professionals at all levels during these life phases, what are the progressive practices in place to enhance retention of women? So how much would we wait for legislation to dictate our workplace practices? That's really about this first session of day 2. The last session of day 2, we will move beyond gender diversity, because the focus will move towards other forms of diversity, other constituents of diversity and inclusion. This is an experience sharing session, bringing insights from organizations who have successfully spearheaded this agenda, and from individuals who have beaten the odds to take seat at the corporate table. I'm hopeful that this summit will trigger many thoughts, and more importantly, commitment to actions that will help us move further on gender balanced leadership agenda. The formats being used in this workshop, in the summit, are designed so that the audience don't just participate in the question and answer sessions. They also participate because we do quick gathering of views from the participants. I look forward to the next 2 days, wish for a great summit. And as my last comment, I just want to say that thinking big and thinking different has happened. Thinking diverse could be the next game changer. So thank you very much.
Thank you indeed. In fact, the latest study I just read in Forbes, the Peterson Institute of International Economics, they have done a research, 22,000 organizations which are public traded companies in 91 countries. And the findings are like 30% where women directors are there in organizations, the profit has gone up by almost 6%. And we're talking about the large corporations in the world. We would like to welcome, I can see Dr. Rupandi Padki in the audience. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. I can see Ms. Hema Ravichandar in the audience. Thank you indeed. Now, I would like to request Ms. Chris Leong, the Global Chief Marketing Officer of Schneider Electric, to join us here and deliver the keynote address. You all have seen her profile. I had a very brief discussion with her and I really enjoyed that discussion. We look forward to your thought process, please. Please, over to you.
Good morning, namaste. Good morning, namaste. It's great to be here this morning. Maybe before I start, on behalf of Schneider Electric's leadership team, Annette and I couldn't be more proud and happy to spend today with you guys. In fact, we're spending the week here between a couple of states in this rich and diverse culture in India. Tomorrow, I'm joining the Made in India forum, and it's great to be here. So, first of all, a huge salute to all you HR professionals in the room. I think you have one of the most exciting jobs because it is by far one of the most important capital that we can work on is the human capital, without which nothing works. Machine is created by human, so let's not forget that. So it's great to be here. And in the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to walk you through how Schneider Electric, one of the world's leading engineering company, yes, we are very engineering driven, is embracing gender diversity and equality and inclusion in a fairly highly technical and complex environment so that our people can collectively deliver unprecedented business impact in a life is on world. Now, before I start, maybe I'll just run a quick video to show you our philosophy in approaching the life is on world. If I can get some help, thanks.
From the moment you're up, so are we. You don't have to look too hard. Our technology is everywhere. Because energy is a basic human right, a right we bring to places that previously had no energy. And for people on the move, we move raw data so that it becomes information for smoother running, more efficient cities. Every day, our world asks for more reliable power. But our resources are limited. That's why we make better use of what's around us, giving clean, sustainable energies a solid chance in the future. So while we help industry and productivity, we never forget what's at the end of the day. Not everyone knows us, and fewer may see us, but we are the global specialists in energy management and automation. We are Schneider Electric. And in everything we do, we make sure that even while you're asleep, life is on.
Well, there is no doubt the change in our world is more profound than ever. New technologies enabling for the first time distributed and connected energy challenge the way we live. As you saw in the video, to meet these changes, we invent technologies that transform the places we live, we play, and we work. With our design philosophy, we deliver solutions that integrate seamlessly into our environment, so intuitive that it is doing its job behind the scenes for you. Our intent is very simple. We would like to ensure life is on for everyone, everywhere, at every moment. And I'm very proud to say I work for a global leader that is serious about ensuring that women have a significant role in delivering this life is on world. Well, at our core, we think that energy is the base of life. Think about it. How would life be without energy? Life is on today because energy is on. And life gets richer and more sustainable tomorrow if energy gets safer, more reliable, and more efficient. And when energy is on, people everywhere will develop a passion to make a difference. We get the energy to tackle the toughest challenges, energy to turn the best technologies into innovation, and energy to deliver the best for our people. And in Schneider, we're a global company, but we're very proud that Asia now represents by far our single biggest region in the world. And that's thanks to very good development and growth and support from markets such as India. So well done to Anil and his team. So coming to the topic of gender balance, why it matters. Well, in a limitless world, we have women venturing into outer space. My women colleagues, such as Annette, such as Rashna, at Schneider, we're changing the way electricity grid operates and the way manufacturing production processes produce far better efficiency while ensuring a greener future. So unidimensional thinking does not work in this brave new world. Strength, is it our difference or our similarities? Gender balance, corporations and enterprise have a lot to do and is able to contribute a lot to this ecosystem. The interesting thing is all humans are product of diversity. We're born into it. Today, we're taking diversity from our homes all the way to our workplace. We're creating a much more beautiful world. And this should not be a new concept to you, because Gandhi, one of India's most profound gifts of the world, gave the most brilliant quote. To call women the weaker sex is a libel. It's immense injustice to women. If by strength it meant brute strength, then indeed a woman less brute than men. If by strength it meant moral power, then women is immeasurably men's superior. Has she not greater intuition? Is she not self-sacrificing? Has she not greater powers of endurance? Has she not greater courage? Without her, man could not be. If non-violence is the law of our being, the future is with women. Who can make a more effective appeal to the heart than women? I think it's beautiful. And I think it still rings true to, it's timeless. Diversity is more than just gender balance. It includes language, culture, belief systems, values, expertise, and much more. A business that embraces diversity is bound to experience better success all around. And data points have proven this. And they all point to one thing. The diversity and inclusion drives better financial performance, market trends, corporate governance, creativity, and innovation. Well, in Schneider, we have a strategic blueprint for 5 years. We call it Schneider is On. And diversity and inclusion is a bedrock foundation in everything that we do, without which we think we would not be half as successful as we would be. And we're very proud of that. And what do we mean by that? Diversity and inclusion is an integral part because it is in our history, in our culture identity. Our approach, it includes at all the ecosystem, starts with a leadership commitment. With that, we then extend it to education of our managers, employees, of the importance of diversity and inclusion. And for a successful diversity and inclusion program, we need to look at organizational system, including processes from recruitment to development to performance management. And last but not least, communication, both internally and externally. It is important our employees are on board, and it is equally important that our partners, customers, shareholders, and industry observers also recognize us as a company that is founded on the principles of diversity and inclusion. I'd like to share with you about 4 examples of how we bring this to life on gender balance. So, how many of you have heard of He for She program? Great. How many of you have followed the recent Davos event where He for She was also part of? So we're quite proud that our CEO, because of the efforts that Schneider has made and his personal passion and commitment in the topic, is part of the panel on gender diversity and on He for She. And he's a very happy man because the ambassador for the UN for He for She is Emma Watson, who has indeed retweeted the Schneider's pledge, and that has made him very popular with his 3 children. So that's the good news. So gender balance is indeed very big. The UN launched the He for She movement in 2014, and the UN goal is to achieve gender equality by 2030. We at Schneider Electric are proud to be among the 10 impact corporations chosen to accelerate the UN He for She targets. We took the opportunity to launch our own impact internal program He for She,